That Reef Show.
That Reef Show.
This is That Reef Show.
Two quick things before we get into this segment. Number one, do us a favor and subscribe down below. We would really appreciate it. And number two, I am trying something completely new in this segment. A lot of you are going to hate it. No, I'm doing good today, thanks. Oh, you need me to look at the camera? Sorry, I'm a little nervous. All right, take two. I'm my first fish tank, and I am the top RODI matchmaker in the central, southern, greater metropolitan Palm Springs area. My sole purpose in life, the thing that brings my life meaning, is to facilitate lifelong relationships between my clients, RODI filters, and their future partners. Today we're meeting two new clients. Pretty special day actually, because not only are these new clients looking for their forever partners, but they're actually cousins too. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks. Well,
So I really feel like up until this exact moment in this video, it was really good quality. I love the drone shots. I like the idea of like the Indian matchmaker, but I've sat down to edit this and I am so sorry. The next portion happens twice and it's just not good. And I apologize, but if one thing I've learned about YouTube is you can't just scrap things. You gotta just commit to it and see it through. So mea culpa in advance. This next section did not turn out like I had hoped it would in my mind, but at least I'm trying something. Okay, back to the video.
I'm the AquaMaxx Puratek RO-100. I'm just your average 4-stage, 100-gallon per day RODI filter. I'm 15 inches tall and come with RO tubing and a plumbing kit. My pressure gauge is oil-filled, and for those of you who like a bit of a challenge, my RO backflush is manually operated.
And how would you describe your ideal partner?
I'm not too fussy. I like my water pressure high and my TDS low. While I'm a hard-working filter, I don't like working that hard, so no ginormous tanks, please.
By the way, if you want to know the in-depth science that makes the AquaMaxx Puratek RO-100 tick, check out this video. If you're watching it on a desktop, you can just click right up here. But if you're watching it on your mobile phone, turn it sideways and swipe up from the bottom. We'll also put the link below in the description. Well, give me a couple days, but there's a couple in-org datas that are already coming to mind that I think might be a really good match for you. You know, overall, the RO-100 seems really down to earth and pretty willing to compromise if I can find the right match. I have a couple good in-org datas that are really coming to mind, but I think it's time for me to get to work. All right, Deluxe 100, what do we need to know about you?
My name is AquaMaxx Puratek Deluxe 100, and like my cousin, I'm also a 100-gallon per day 4-stage RODI filter, but where my cousin is a bit frumpy, I'm actually top shelf. You're not going to share that with my cousin, are you? I'm 18 inches tall, come with everything that my cousin has, but a lot more. First up, I'm 100% automated and microprocessor controlled. My RO membrane automatically backflushes every 2 hours, and my booster pump increases my clean water output. My inline TDS meter will tell my future partner when it's time to change the TFC membrane. And if you add a float valve, I'll automatically shut off.
So what type of partner are you looking for?
Well, because I'm a bit fancier, my future partner has to be willing to shell out a bit more upfront, but I'll make it worth their while. I love a bit of an environmentalist, as my clean to wastewater ratio is best in class. I don't mind a scatterbrain, as my microprocessor can automate a lot, and I think I'd be a really good match for both apartment dwellers and well water households because my booster pump is up to the challenge.
I have really got my work cut out for me. These two cousins, while yeah, they're very similar, are looking for really different people. I've selected 2 inorg datas for each of my clients, and I think they'll be a really good match. But for those of your viewers out there who either have a terrible water source or need to produce 200 gallons per day, check out this video we made. We turned your ordinary 4-stage RODI filter into a 200 gallon per day, 7-stage behemoth. If you're watching this on a desktop, you can click up here, but if you're watching it on your mobile phone, just turn it horizontal and swipe up from the bottom for the video. We'll also put the links in the description below. All right, I have 2 inorg datas for you today, and honestly, I really don't think you can go wrong either way. You nervous? Eligible partner number 1 hails from Palm Springs, California. While they're not super wealthy, their apartment is ground level, which means their water pressure is good. They only have a 70-gallon cube system, and there's a giant aquifer underneath the whole Coachella Valley. So while the water is a bit hard, very little chlorine and no chloramines. Inorg data number 2 hails from the mountainous suburbs just outside of Seattle, Washington. They have a 120-gallon Fowler tank in their single-family home. Their water comes from the annual snow melt from the Cascade Mountains, so no chloramines and virtually indetectable levels of chlorine. And get this, the last time they tested their TDS, it was a bit on the soft side, hovering only around 45 parts per million. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of time, look them over, choose one, and we'll set up a meeting for you. So I've got 2 inorg datas for you to look at. The first inorg data I have is a big city dweller from Miami, Florida. The huge Biscayne aquifer supplies the tap water, but it is softened first, then treated with chloramine and ammonia, so chloramine, with fluoride added on top. This possible match for you lives in a high-rise condo with great views, but terrible water pressure, so your booster pump will come in really handy. The second inorg data I have is the exact opposite of the first one, so you have quite the choice on your hand. They live on a Midwestern farm on the outskirts of St. Louis, Missouri. Their well water is really good, but super high in minerals and other TDS, so your automatic backflush system will really be good for preventing TDS creep. They pump their water to an above ground reservoir, so their house is just gravity fed, meaning water pressure is abysmal. Just so you know ahead of time, neither one of these inorg datas is willing to move, so you're gonna have to make a choice. Do you want to be a big city RO filter or a small town RO filter? Let me know and I will set you up for your first meeting. I've just heard back from both RO-100 and Deluxe 100, and they've both chosen who they want to see for their first date. Really exciting. Tune in next episode to see if they found their lifelong partner or not. By the way, if you need help choosing which one of those RODI filters would work best for your situation, just shoot us an email, contact@thatreefshow.com. Tell us a little bit about where you live and your water source, and we'll help you choose the one that works for you. Happy reefing, everybody. Bye 120. Enjoy your new home. So I'm getting rid of the tank, and I think I should probably explain to you why. This is by far my least favorite of my 5 or 6 aquariums that I have right now, for several reasons. Number one, it's too big. You know, when I'm taking care of 5 or 6 tanks every week, it's just too much. You know, between the website, between making YouTube videos, between the newsletter, between social media, this just doesn't get the attention it deserves. Also, there are a couple imperfections in the glass that look like oil that I've tried removing that are just a part of the glass. That's bugged me forever. When I look at this tank, I'm just not happy with it. I think the aquascape is complete crap. I think it looks ugly inside. Every time I walk by it, I'm just like reminded of my own inadequacies as a reefer and as a hobbyist. Also, I don't have any more space for tanks, and I have a new tank coming in maybe this upcoming week. And literally, now we have a tank in my bedroom, in my daughter's bedroom. I have 2 tanks out here, and there's just no more space. By taking this down, I can put the new tank here. Most beginners aren't going to be able to jump into the hobby with a 120-gallon tank. Not that a 120-gallon tank is somehow bad for beginner. It's not. It's great for beginner, but it's just a lot more expensive. What I plan on doing is having the brand new tank, which is like a 40-gallon breeder size plus a sump, and then I will be able to have a second tank right next to it. Another thing is I just like smaller tanks. I don't know why. Does this mean that I'm just never going to have a big tank ever again? No, but in the foreseeable future, as far as I can see, I think I might be done with big tanks for now. So in order to get this tank ready, there are 3 overarching tasks that I have to do. The first thing I need to do is I need to get the 40-gallon breeder tank ready for livestock. The second thing I need to do is I need to move the livestock from the 120-gallon to the 40-gallon breeder, and then the third thing I have to do is break down the 120-gallon system. Starting up top, I need to get my lights on a schedule. Then moving over to the 2 returns, they're not putting out like any flow right now. So I need to install the Vivid Creative Aquatics random flow nozzle. I've never used these, but I've heard great things. I had this Brightwell Export BioBrick in the 120-gallon tank, and I put it in here. So there's probably plenty of beneficial bacteria in here, but I definitely want to do some testing. So I'm just gonna double check everything. Moving down to the sump, I have a protein skimmer I'm gonna put in there. I think I'm gonna use this Bubble Magus protein skimmer. It should be a pretty good size. In the final section in this Marine Depot Elite sump, you can use the final chamber as like an auto top-off reservoir, but you can also use it as a refugium. So I'm going to transfer the refugium from my 120-gallon into this section. I'll also need to install my refugium light. I'm going to use the same one I'm already using, which is the Kessel A80 Tuna Sun. And then up top, something I totally forgot, is I need to create some habitat for the fish. So I have a whole bunch of PVC that I'm going to use zip ties to put them together into like a little PVC mansion for the fish. Progress is being made. It is now almost 4 p.m. When I planned this video out, it was so clean. Well, it didn't work out that way. Everything has, of course, overlapped everything else, and you should see this mess. Here, let me turn you around. You can see the mess. Here's the view from the back of the room. I have plumbing supplies, random pumps, drill bits from like earlier when I was doing some stuff, workstation, I have wrenches, kind of already set up. This is messy. I mean, just look at all my buckets. Not only that, let's walk over here. The tank is only like half broken down. So I just need to get the fish and the livestock over there. It took way longer to move the refugium than I thought it would. I think the tank is finally ready for fish. So I'm gonna remove the last couple pieces of rock, catch the livestock, move them over. So this day was supposed to be very simple. It was supposed to be a long day, but not this long. I was supposed to have it all well planned out. Well, this place is a mess. The entire house reeks of just like nasty algae smells, and it's disgusting. And I just spent like 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, trying to remove one of my 4 anemones from the rock using a utility pump and just blasting its foot, and all it did was it ended up ripping. And then I take out that rock and I put it down, and I go walk away, and I come back, and who's there? I didn't take a video of this, sorry. It was so fast. Who's there? 6-line wrasse. I totally forgot about 6-line wrasse, and he was hiding in the rock structure the entire time. And so luckily, I saw him there, and he was probably out for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I mean, that poor guy. Could you imagine how awful that would be? So luckily, I was able to scoop him up and place him in the tank behind me. He looked like he was not doing well, and then about a minute in, he started swimming around. I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. Anyway, it's been a very stressful day. I still have 3 anemones to try to get off, and I've been blasting one with a utility pump for the last 40 minutes, and it's still solidly attached. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Not only that, but the 120 gallon is not even empty yet. I haven't even started the cleanup process yet, so like that, the 120's gone. I need to install my focus in here, focus in. Drip acclimate them, of course, then move them over to their, some sort of alarm's going off. I didn't think that was my temperature alarm. I gotta go check that. I'll check that in a second. It seemed to stop. No, I'm doing good today, thanks. No, I'm okay. I don't need any water. Thanks though. Yeah, I'd be happy to introduce myself. I'm my first fish. Oh, you need me to look at the camera? Sorry, I'm a little nervous. No, that makes good sense.
That's...